Hi, angels. So, I want to explain to you two ways today how you can get activated to your twin flame journey. So, how it can happen, how it can come to be, right? Meeting your twin. And I think it's important to know that there are only two ways that it can actually happen because a lot of people are actually in a karmic relationship and they confuse it with the twin flame. And there's nothing wrong about that. I always say this, there's no superiority and inferiority here, right? Karmic relationships are very important life lessons and we need them in our life as well. But it's important to know whether you are in a karmic connection or in a twin flame connection because how you approach this, right? So what do I do with this right now? Because if you are in a karmic connection and you're going to approach this as if it was a twin flame, you're going to keep yourself in a delulu land. You're never going to learn your lesson and you're just going to suffer for years on end, right? So it's really important to know, okay, I'm in a karmic connection, now I have to learn my lesson and I have to release the pain, or I'm in a twin flame connection, this is how I need to approach my journey, right? So when we talk about twin flames, divine counterparts, right? Divine love. There are two ways you can get activated to the journey. First, the most common one, the most popular one, how it's going to happen for most people is that it's a fast activation. So you meet your twin, right? You meet your person, you feel an immediate connection and you enter I don't even want to call it a relationship because it's never a relationship. You connect to this person. You're in this love bubble, right? It's like you can talk for hours. This person is like no one else. It's like you've never felt this way before about anyone else, right? So you connect to this person. And that love bubble can last anywhere from literally hours or days only to maximum, my universal truth, 2 3 months, no more. Because the feeling between the twins is so intense, the pull is so strong. We operate with our divine counterpart. It is literally the only other soul that operates on the same frequency. It's such a powerful connection that we are literally enabled to hold this because your twin is your biggest mirror to both your light and your shadows. And because we are usually coming from a place of ego, we're guided by our shadows. Most people, right? That's how we roll. You're enabled to sustain that relationship with that counterpart until you actually heal, right? So what happens is that you connect, you usually have that short-lived romance, and after a few hours, days, or like I said, maximum of 3 months, the masculine will go into denial. He will go into denial and he will start running. He will start he will put on those runner boots, right? And from there, you will have that usually happens, you will have that period of time that can happen. It depends on the feminine. Right now it's going to depend on the feminine, that second stage where you're going to be in and out, right? He's going to be returning every month, every 2 months, every 3 months, either just to reconnect and talk to you. You're not even gonna meet, or maybe you're just gonna have, like that nighttime kind of call, and you're gonna get to his house and you're just gonna be together for a few hours, and then he's gonna disappear again. And that period of time, and hot and cold and in and out, again, it's going to last for as long as the feminine says yes to it. For as long as we're in such longing and in such pain without the masculine, that we're so happy every time he returns that we forget that we have no self-esteem and we come back running to him breadcrumbing us, right? So that in and out can be anywhere from like 6 months to even years, right? And at one point, the feminine will start to step into her self-worth and she's going to start saying no. And that's the moment when the masculine will disappear completely into a separation that will take years, okay? years. I don't care what anyone says. Minimum 2-3 years. Minimum. And it can be 8, it can be 10. Again, it's going to be very individual how you approach the journey, or also in your individual path. What is it that you planned to do on your separate quests as you embark on those quests in the separation, right? So there's going to be activation, you're going to meet, you're going to have that short-lived bubble phase, honeymoon kind of romance that can last from, like I said, hours to usually days, really weeks, no more than couple of months. And then you're going to have that in and out craziness kind of dance, and then there's going to be separation until the masculine returns, right? And the second way how you can get activated is, I think it's very rare. It's common for the first waivers, right? We call them first waivers. So it's that situation when you meet your twin for a very short period of time. Usually when you're very young, they're there. You go to school together, you live in the same neighborhood. So you kind of, it's like it serves a purpose to locate them in your life, but you're not actually activated to the journey. So then you go completely separate ways, and you build your life separately. You can be connected to a soulmate, you can have children, you can go on with your life for like 10, 20, 30 years, whatever that is for you. And then you meet again, and then the activation happens. So when you meet for the first time, you're not actually activated, because once you're activated, you can freaking not go on without thinking about this person, and your divine feminine, you completely go into the Lululand of spiritual awakening, right? So the reason that second case can happen, it's because you're not actually activated, right? This person is sort of just located in your life, so you completely don't think about them all your life. And the reason I'm explaining to you those two ways is because there's many people, again, like I said, they think they're in a twin flame relationship, but if you have been with your partner, right, for years, you had an actual relationship, you were living together, you for 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, 15 years, you had a relationship, right? You were boyfriend and girlfriend, or husband and wife, whatever that is. You actually had a normal relationship, and then you separated, and then even if that relationship was always a little toxic or always a little in and out, but you actually had a relationship with this person, would, you would meet their family, they would introduce you as their girlfriend and boyfriend, and then you separate, and then you and then you start having problems and you go into that separation. It's not it. It's a karmic connection. Twins are incapable to maintain an actual relationship, an actual connection for more than literally, like I said, hours, days, maybe weeks. And because the masculine is in such a wounded place, they usually would just have you in a hiding. It's just like this love bubble. No one knows you exist. They don't go and introduce you to their family and their friends, and you don't have a normal relationship. It's not a normal relationship. It's not possible until you go into that separation and you heal, right? So remember those key first stages. You meet, you get activated, short-lived romance, very intense, very passionate, very based on intimacy, right? For a short amount of time. Then masculine goes into denial. It's an in and out that can last, a half a year or 2 years, but it's going to be just like you're going to come back to each other, but for no longer than literally few days, and then boom, he's gonna be gone, and then he goes into separation must happen, it's inevitable, I don't care what anyone says, and it lasts years. I hope this was helpful. If you have questions, as always, you know where to find me.